Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining this last webinar on the European Award. Okay, so as the other webinar, you can discuss with me and Maider via the chat. You can also raise your hand and talk with us if you have a question. So whether the chat or raise your hand. I'm just going to wait 1 more minute so we can let other people enter the webinar and start to share my screen. So this is our last session before the ending of the call for application 2024. So the idea of this webinar is more to help you finalize your application, answer last questions, maybe not enter all art of the project, but more like technical or just question on the application. And of course, if you want to discuss more, to tell us more about the project, we are available with Maider to organize another call with you. So just going to share the screen up. So I don't think we have other people coming. So I'm just going to repeat that you have the chat to discuss with us, or you can raise your hand. And don't forget to tick speak with everyone so other people can see your question and Maider and I can answer. I think we can now start. Yes. So I will let you start, Maider.
Good morning good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for being here, attending this webinar. As I hope you all had a fantastic summer holidays. And before we start, and to make this as efficient as possible, we wanted to ask one question. Let's see if we can have the responses among the chat. Is anyone in the audience that has never applied or heard about the European Award before, Art Explorer Award, has not opened an application, has never applied to our award, and is totally new to us? If that's the case, I will briefly go over 1 or 2 minutes about the award.
Yeah. I can see already 2 people.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, maybe more. So maybe
well,
we
welcome.
can
It's great to have to have absolutely new newcomers, because we think that it's important to just very quickly to say that this is an award. We are in our 5th year, that is open to all nonprofit European organizations that supports innovative projects across all art forms, that promotes new forms of audience engagement and participation. This is our key core message in our award, in all arts and cultures. So we're looking for projects that can inspire others arts organizations in Europe, so that ideally these projects should be shareable, replicable, and scalable across Europe. This doesn't mean that the project has to be pan-European. This is just that it can be very local, it can be very addressed to a specific community, to a specific neighborhood, to a specific audience. But because, for example, teenagers, we all share the audience of teenagers everywhere in Europe, it can inspire others to do or to approach or to make participate this audience in their cultural organization in a special way. I want to say big or new announcement today that we're doing is we're going to extend our call for applications of 4 days. It's not a lot. It's till the 10th of September. We had many requests of doing this. A lot of especially Southern arts organizations are coming back to work just next week. So they were asking for 48 hours, 3 more days. So we said, of course, it's going to tight our analysis after, but we will do it with pleasure if this can help to have new people doing this with calm and a little bit more time. So 10th of September is the new deadline. I hope you still think of 6 so that you don't need to use that weekend. But we wanted to share this news with you because I hope it's good news. So very quickly, it's open to all non-profit European cultural organizations across all art forms, including theater, dance, music, film, and fine arts, and across all European countries. It's quite a generous Europe. So next slide. I think it's important that you can see it in the map in purple. We have the European Union countries, and we add Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, Switzerland, United Kingdom. And this year we have added as well, we are welcoming Western Balkans. So Albania, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Republic of Northern Macedonia, Kosovo, Montenegro, and Serbia. So as you can see, it's a very generous Europe. Just a little mention about our awards. So we're giving 180,000 euros in awards. This is 3 awards of 50,000 each that we have divided into 3 categories to give a very fair and the most equitable chances to every organization. So our category 1 or small category will be cultural organizations up to 500,000 euros in annual expenditure. The category 2 or the middle arts organizations are between 500,000 and 2 million annual expenditure the previous year. And the category 3 are the cultural organizations with an budget of over 2 million euros. We also have one Audience Choice Award. This is not the jury, but the public that chooses these awards. So it has never happened, but it could eventually be added to one of the awards because it's the jury that will be around October being open in the social media so they can vote. So if you have a fantastic community and social media followers, they can really bring you up to one more prize. And then we created for this year a special jury of 20,000 that will be appointed among the shortlisted projects. So this is an award that will be given chosen by the jury. So this will not add up to the 50,000. And we have created this because in the past, we always thought that after evaluating and after voting, sometimes there was a tie, it was hard to choose one. And at some point we thought that it could be interesting to add this Coup de Cœur award that would highlight a project that is really in the core values of Art Explorer and sharing art and cultures with everyone.
Yes, and maybe just, Maida, I will add on the category, because we had this question multiple times, that if you are in category 1, it doesn't mean that your annual expenditure has to have this maximum amount. It can be way less than 500,000 euros. It's just the maximum of the category 1.
Yeah, the bracket. From 0, from
exactly.
something to 500, yes. And just as an agenda of the award, so we opened the call in the 13th of May. We are extending it to the 10th of September. The shortlisted committee will be announced on the 28th. We will work on the 28th of September. From the 29th to 11th of November, those shortlisted will be published in our networks, and we will share with the shortlisted that they can share in their networks as well, because the public will choose and will vote for their favorite program among the shortlisted. And on the 13th of November, we will have our final jury in l'Académie des Beaux-Arts, and we will be announcing publicly the winners of the 4 awards on the 11th of December.
Yes, and about the final jury, we also wanted to share with you the members of the jury. So actually, we missed 2 of them because we are still waiting for answers, to be honest. So, but as you may know, the jury is divided with members of the Académie des Beaux-Arts, because they are our partners on this award, and other European experts appointed by Arte Explora. So from the Académie des Beaux-Arts, we have Laurent Petit-Girard, which is the permanent secretary of the Académie des Beaux-Arts. He's from the music sector. Then we have Angelin Prel-Jocage, a choreographer, which is now also academician. And then for this year, we are also welcoming Marjane Satrapi, which is an academician since this year, actually. So she's a cartoonist, illustrator, and film director. From Arte Explora, so obviously we have Frédéric Jousset, because he's the president of the final jury. To represent the sector of independent venues, grassroots or community organization, we are welcoming, I mean, not welcoming because this is the third year she's here, but it's Tiffany Fukuma, director of Trans-Europe Halles. To represent the university, the academic sector, we asked Cora Cohen-Azria to be part of the jury because she's working in the University of Lille, and she's in the education and learning science department, and she's working in science museology. So to represent the academic, both the academic and the museum sector, we thought could be very interesting to welcome her. And then, as you know, maybe we are also always keeping a seat for a past laureate. So that's why we are welcoming Pierre Thys. He's director of Théâtre National Wallonie-Bruxelles. And there were the Audience Choice Award laureate last year. So we are very happy to welcome him. And as you understood, the idea is really to make sure we can represent all sectors in this jury, because since 2 years now, the award is open to all art forms and sectors. So it's very important to us. So now, I don't know if you already have some question linked to this specific subject. Do not hesitate if it's the case, but otherwise, before the Q&A session, I propose to go through the platform and maybe point like the important elements in this platform, or the different elements, so that you should make sure to answer right in the right way. So I thought, yeah, maybe it could be easier for you then, and maybe we can already answer some specific question. So let me share the screen with this great platform. So Maider, do you confirm where you can see the screen? Cool. So you can see that it's still the 6th September, but as you understood, we will make it 10. So I will start as it's my application. So if you already open the account, your account and an application, so you clicked on this button. And now you have the different tabs, and you can browse the different tabs in the way you want, since you have answered this first question of category, in which category you're applying, and your organization name. And then you are free to go in other tabs and answer the way you want. What is important in this first page is that you can download the blank application. So I think it's already something we shared a lot with Maider, because it's very useful if you have to share the application with other members of the team, with partners, and it's updated itself every time you are filling the application. So nothing very complicated in this first page. The mail address is important, as you may understand, because we will use this one to contact you if you are shortlisted, if we have questions, actually, also. In the period of studying the application, it's important that we can talk with you. So then the second tab is about your organization. the organization type, the description. Also, the legal entity is important for us to understand because it's not the same in different countries. So we have to make sure that it's a non-profit organization. So we had this category this year, so it's easier for the jury and everyone to understand the structure. Well, nothing complicated about the organization. Select the right countries, your right country. I heard that someone had difficulties to select United Kingdom, and that it goes every time to Switzerland. Well, if you have this problem, do not forget to tell us so we can change it for you. You can fill in the annual expenditure. It's important, so we can verify that you are in the right category. So it's mandatory. And as you can see, when it's not mandatory, well, it's written optional. So it's things that you don't have to necessarily answer. Then, in the application tab, first thing first, the project. When you are applying for this award, the first thing we need to know is if it's a new project or if it's an existing project. The difference between the two is that a new project is something completely new that you have never tried in your organization and that you would like to develop. So maybe it's also the moment to make sure you rightly understand the award. So it's more a grant than an award because we are trying to support the development and the implementation of projects. So we are not rewarding something that has been done in the past. We want to help you develop the new forms of audience engagement, of accessibility. So either you are presenting something completely new, either you are presenting something that's existing, maybe a new edition of another project, but with this idea of going further, to maybe scale it, maybe develop it with new partners. For example, you are a museum and you have tried something with a theater and you want to try this year with an opera, but the same project. So for example, it's an existing project with a new dimension. Well,
One thing, I think it's important to let you know that Art Explora, we really are looking and seeking for innovative projects. So we really want to give that chance to projects that haven't been just running for 10 years and very successful, but for those that have a little bit more risk and you really have in a drawer and you really want to push, or you have done a pilot or have done it 1 year, or you realized in COVID that this was some good idea and you would like to expand it. So we usually try not to support projects that have over 6 years running, unless there is a really new dimension that you really want to, use the same concept for a different dimension, which can be, as Leanne said, a community or a different art form or a different partner, etc.
Exactly. So yeah, that was something important we wanted to clarify with all of you. So then about the category best, describing your project, nothing complicated about it, and you can select several options. It's written when you can select several options. We also heard that you have the sensation sometimes that you are explaining the same thing multiple times. Well, the thing is that we are really using your wording and your elements when you are shortlisted. And as we are creating tool communication, a communication toolkit, sorry, it's important for us to have the right elements and to make sure that you will be able to communicate in the right way your project during the Audience Choice Award. We are creating, once we have the shortlisted, we are creating a video clip for everyone. So everyone has the same chance to win it and share the great news. So it's important that we already have like some elements to create it, because as you understood, I mean, it seems like a long agenda, but for us, it's always very short, because the creation of content is something quite long. And that's the reason why we are at first asking a short presentation of the project. So we have the best elements to describe your project, and also to explain the project to the final jury, even though they are reading the applications, of course. Yeah, for them to understand in the best way, and for us to give them the more elements we can. So then about estimation of people, target audience, nothing complicated, I think, about it. But if you have questions, do not hesitate. For the beneficiaries audience typology, of course, you can select several people. And of course, if you have, if there is some audience not mentioned, you can also mention them in the 5-page project, because obviously we are not just reading this. The final jury is not just reading these questions. Then more information on the target. It's you can specify here if it's another kind of audience, or also explain why you choose that. It's important because we know we have all these criteria on the award, but still what is important is why you are interested in your project, why you think it's an important project. So why do you choose this audience to develop it? It's always very interesting to understand the very heart of the project. The partnership, same thing. It's more like, because it's easier also to have to read a list of the partners. So it can be economic partners like finances of the project, and also partners like hospital, schools, prisons, yeah, beyond the cultural sector. And
I'd like to say that we value a lot in Art Explora partnerships and collaborations with others. We do think that, especially if you are addressing a specific audience where specialized people to treat them, because it's around mental health, or because they're seniors, or around Alzheimer, or it's because they're young children, and there's specific people that can help you in addressing and making participate and encourage these audiences. We really value this. So make sure you put everybody that is collaborating with you in this project.
Yeah. And as mentioned, here is the where you can have the 5-page application. So everything you have said before can be has to be in this 5-page application. And I would say we mentioned it a lot with Myler, but it's easier to answer the application by with the different criteria. So you can list the different criteria and explain why you think it filling the different criteria of the award. Then we have this category for the budget. Obviously, what is important about the budget is that it's written next to the case, but do not forget to put the 50K in the budget. So it has to be included, so we can see where you will use it, what expenses will it cover. It's easier for the final jury to understand the budget, and also to see like the total budget, obviously, including the donation. Of course, do not forget to specify the different other funding, because it has to respect this 80% budgetary constraint.
But it's not mandatory. Like it's the maximum, but we do not
Yeah,
give
of
more
course.
importance or more chances to a project that goes close to an 80 or below 80. It's just about the harmony and the sense of the whole budget itself.
Of course. Then the video presentation, as you can see, it's optional. You don't have to do a video. It's always nice because it's a way for us, the jury, to see your face and maybe for you to give more explanation about a specific points in the project that are maybe hard to explain just in a 5-page application. So you can film yourself. It doesn't have to be a very beautiful film. It can be with a phone. No worries about that. It doesn't have to be something complicated.
Or if you already have something that you have produced within your arts organization that you would like to share with us that is no longer than 5 minutes, that explains the concept of the project because you already have it, it's also great. So it's more about not creating you more problems, but helping us understand better your program.
And then you have this for the additional file. If you want to have a presentation file, a press review, whatever, you can do it here. And I will finish this presentation with the attachments because you can share, and you have to share at least 2 images. Same thing, it's because if you are shortlisted, as we are creating communication tools to share this great news, we need at least 2 pictures to do that. So you can select here video or photo, or add a link, for example, if you have a YouTube video, Dailymotion video, whatever, you can share it here. Do not hesitate to share the credits. I mean, we will write to you if you don't have it at the moment, but it's very helpful. And of course, to share something with, only royalty-free photo, like pictures, that we will be able to share in the future. And of course, if you want to share elements, but you know that they are not royalty-free, you can specify it and we won't share anything. Because if you are videos or photos that are the best illustration of your project, but you don't have rights on them, do not hesitate to mention it. And this is the last page to close your application. Few questions about whether you are part of a cultural network or not. And then you just have to confirm that you want to submit the application and send it. That's it. So it's not, I think, not very, very complicated. I can see now that we already have some questions. Maider, you already have answered some, right? So now
I was answering one that comes a lot, especially in category 1, which is the little arts organizations that maybe 65,000 euros is a lot of budget. And I'm responding to Gabriel, who's asking, hold on, now, is there a maximum limit on the number of years for funding? We like to say 3. For example, it would be okay for 3 years. Yes, it happens a lot also because we want to give some longevity and some legacy and some impact. So projects that extend up to 3 years, it's good. We accept them and we're very happy with them, especially in the small category, happens a lot. It has just been started in 2024 and developed mainly in 25, but it can extend to 2026 and 27. Yes. Is there a list of countries published regarding continental European nations?
If you're talking about the countries that can apply to the award, yes, you have the list on the platform. In the second tab, your organization, the list is
given.
All the countries that can apply.
Because it's the European Union countries that you can you can find them, and we have them. And then the additions as Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and Western Balkans.
Exactly.
Let's see.
What if we are still confirming partners? Can we still have potential partners? Yes, of course, you can have them. It's always better for us to understand who will be the potential partners, because as we understood, if it's a new project, I mean, most of the time when it's a new project, and not all the partners are confirmed. So, but we understood that it's normal.
It's normal, but we would like to have some sort of reassurance that you have worked with them, or a description of what they are bringing.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't.
when you think you will have the response about it. That's also helpful for us.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like just giving us the idea of the most ideal partners. It's explaining why it will be them, and maybe because you have already worked with them and you have exchanged and they are interested in the project.
Okay, the program, yes. We're still confirming partners. Yes. There is one question that I would like to Maria Desmona Kovacs. Hi, everyone. If I understand correctly, we're able to apply. We have a project, if a new project existing between 1 month and 1 year. Regarding all the running projects, we can only apply if we renew the theater play artistic output. Do you understand, Leanne?
No, I'm not sure to understand this question. Because
the project, because we're supporting innovation, we don't want projects that have been running for over 6-7 years doing exactly the same thing, and it's very successful, and we're very happy that it's very successful, has probably won another award and so on. We try to push and support innovation. So ideally we want projects that are under 5 years, either 5 years, so it's an existing projects, or a project that you have been running, but you want to give a new dimensions of new partners because you are addressing a new community, a new audience, or because you are extending to another geographic area around your museum or your arts organization, or you've tried something as a pilot in schools and now you want to go to university. Like, it's something that you already have the blueprint, you already have like the assurance that it works, but you want to give it a new dimension and a new scope, and that's where Artexplora would like to support you. If we haven't responded correctly, don't worry. Send us a chat, or send us an email, and we will be very happy to discuss one-on-one.
So I think now we are
children's literature and publishing.
Dylan Calder.
Literature project, yes, it's cultural, it's an artistic. We had last year 2 projects, or 1 project around the poetry and literature for a young audience. So yes, we absolutely value literature. Sorry if it didn't specify, but it's absolutely included as an arts and cultural program. Can the fund support outschool? Valentina Bonizzi, can the fund support outcomes that can be sellable? I'm not sure I understand this.
No, I'm not sure either, because you are talking about like the results.
Can Valentina send us a text, email, or
yes,
talk to Prix or Artexplora Award?
It depends what are the outcomes actually, but we can discuss that obviously. The project is already in development. Do you want to only see work that will be in progress from January 25, or things that well, it can be both. But the thing is that, imagine if you win the award, you will receive the 50K, 10 or 20K in February, beginning of March. So if the project is already done at this period, it's not worth it, obviously. and it's not the objective of the award because you have already financed the award.
And if the project hasn't been developed in 2025, you will apply next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because there are people that were asking me, the project will start on the ground on 2026. Can we still apply? Unfortunately, you are a perfect candidate for next year's award.
Yes, because it really has to start the year you receive the award. Yeah,
Mhm.
for us, it's an assurance that you will use the award for the development of this specific project.
Non-profit organization does not exclude public state-funded organizations, right? No, does not exclude.
Doesn't exclude. True. Dylan, do the partnerships we might work with on our literature project have to be confirmed at the time of the application, or could it be likely partners? As we said, it's not like your ideal partners and you have never talked with them, so don't write that in the application. If you are in the confirmation of with this party, yes, with these partners, yes, of course you can mention it. If you have not conclude something with them, you can still mention it if it's in discussion.
Yeah, mention everything. If we have any questions, we will come back to you as well. So as soon as you applied and everything is closed on the 10th, we're going to start reviewing with the team everything. And if we have any questions, we'll come back to you. And it's not totally closed.
Yes. Would you like a budget in own standard currency, or would you change your euros? Well, it's important to have it in euros. At least we need to have the total amount of the budget of the project itself in euros. So you can have your own currency and then a column with the budget in euros.
You can do the exchange rate of the day. It doesn't have to be. It's to have an order of idea where you are.
Yes, because we need to check if it respects the 80% rule. So it's better to have it in euros, of course. Patrick, we are a theater company. We'll be working with a visual artist on a project. It's okay to cross art forms, of course. No problem. It's open to all art forms and sector. And of course, you can have partners, artists, organization working with you from all the sector you want.
We are a Roma theater NGO focusing on Roma contemporary art. We work with international. We would like to create Roma drama books too. This sounds like a project that could be interesting. Yes, literature, poetry, it's part of our scope. And if you think that this is going to engage, participate new audiences, and it's an innovative way of bringing your project and your concept to a new audience or to your audience, yes, of course. So the award, yes, you will receive the funds if you're one among the laureates in March, latest, 2025. So it's indeed a grant more than an award, if we speak in English terms.
And I have Nastia. How specific does the timeline have to be? Do we need to include risk management and contingency plans? Well, the timeline has to be specific in a way that you need to explain when the project will start and when it should end. So it can be a few months project, or it can be up to 3 years project. So it has just to be clear so we can identify when we can communicate on the project, for example, what are the different phase of the development of the project, because as you may have seen in one of the criterion, so the impact, especially impact and engagement, we are also trying to understand if you are working before, during, and after with the community, the audience engaged in the project. So having this specific timeline is important. Of course, we know, because it's the same for us and in all our projects, it can change. It's not a definitive timeline, but to understand the project, we need one.
Also, because if you win the following year, we're going to ask you about an impact report, or a study about how this project compared to what you expected and what you wished has happened. And it's important that there is, we value projects that have a plan of legacy and impact on an audience a little bit more long term. So this is important that you give some detail about it. It doesn't have to be super precise, but it has to have some sort of plan.
Mm-hmm. And so to answer Valentina about produce a publication through this fund, can this be sold after? I would say it can be sold after, but once again, make sure that this program, this project, and this creation of publication answer the objective of the award, which is engage community, engage audiences, give more accessibility. But yes, it can be we have never experienced a project like that, but why not? Just make sure to answer all these criteria. Then we have Osinkenny,
which has been developed that we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Osinkenny, yes. We're about your gallery youth panel, where you are co-creating with 16 to 25. We absolutely love co-creation. We like when you have a clear audience target, and it has been developed since 2023. We're looking at the themes of that. It fits the criteria. Yes, it fits the criteria perfectly well. Sounds fantastic.
Okay, so I don't think we missed a question. See, Desdemona. Measure of impact of the project is depending on us. Well, it depends on you. I mean, we don't ask like a very specific, I mean, as for the European project, specific impact measurement study. The thing is that we want to understand whether you are trying to work on this, because obviously it's one of the objectives of all of these programs and projects is to see if it's working, and if you can continue to develop it, and if it gives more accessibility and more engagement.
Yeah,
but you don't have
quantitative, but qualitative impact of
this. Yeah, especially quantitative. Yeah.
To be honest, impact is one of the themes that, as a foundation, we're really keen on getting better at it, and really getting specialized into, and we would like to develop this in our network with the award. So it's something that we understand is still not very common everywhere, but we would like to, for all the applicants, to have that in mind as a plan, and or some feedback from the ground, on some testimonies, some sort of feedback and qualitative, if not quantitative, ideally as well, value or valuation of the program. I think
such as person feedback.
That we always learn more and we get stronger and better, I think.
Cool. I don't think we have other question, but my dear, is there some elements we missed from, because we also have a very different question in the first webinar in June.
No, I remember people asking whether in-kind in-kind was possible to be included. In-kind materials, for example, could be included in the budget. Yes, of course, it's another type of support in the budget. So, for example, if it's artistic material crafting that you're going to send to a hospital for a specific audience, and that brand gives you this material for free, it's an in-kind valuation in the program that has a lot of value, and they're giving it to you in kind, so you can give a valuation in your budget about it.
And I will try to answer Anna. So about your question, as I'm not sure I understood everything, but what is important is, of course, to apply for a specific program or project and not for the objective of your organization. Because, I mean, if you're an association and your objective is to share arts and culture and give more accessibility, you cannot apply with this mission. It has to be a very specific project. So you need to choose one of them. It can be several if they are linked, of course. But yes, it's important to describe a specific project you would like to fund and you would like to develop.
Yeah, be as transparent as you can. I think it's the best like we can give you as an advice. And if the operational work is because you need more facilitators or more mediators in the ground or something like this, it makes absolutely total sense that in order to develop this program, you might need some help in operational. We try not to support programs where we are not supporting the ground, but the infrastructure or the capital in the foundation. We are more about the people and the engagement and how to make this happen.
Exactly. Let us know if it's answered your question. I think we answered everything. Great. Well, if you have no other question, well, I think we are done with this last webinar, but of course, as we already told you, you can write to us. Daisy, can the partners be community groups we are working with? Of course, yes, it can be very different kind of partners. You need to mention both. I mean, in the budget, you have to mention the financial partners, but of course, we are also talking about the partners working on the project with you. So it can be partners in the cultural sector, but it can also be partners from the medical health sector, from schools, from
psychologists, yes.
Yeah.
Artists, organization. We really love community as being part of the partnerships and collaboration. This is probably the part that is the most interesting about the project. So the financial is probably your own organizations. So maybe there's no partner there. We like to see that it's not only us at the Art Explorer Award that is going to believe in your project. We're not 100% the only supporters, but we definitely tend to admire and seek for projects that are very involved and partnerships with communities. Yes, that's actually what we look for.
Yes, and Nicoletta, the project we are applying for was completed last year and we want to expand it. So it's an existing project and you're applying for an existing project with New Dimension. Yes.
You explain what the expansion is about and we will.
True. So I think we're done. So we did like a very answer very technical question and everything, but of course don't forget that what counts is why you develop this project and why do you think it's innovative? Because of course you can have a very different partners. There is no projects we are more looking for than others. We are just trying to support in the best way innovative projects that are trying to improve their accessibility, the accessibility of their organization, the accessibility of their program. So just to mention, innovative doesn't mean digital innovation, because we also have this question sometimes. It can be very different innovation. And also, we are trying to make sure with especially the final jury that we are looking for innovative project, but depending on the type of project that are developed in the country. So we know that in France it's not the same kind of project. It can be developed in Greece or in Hungary, in Bulgaria, whatever. So we make sure it's analyzed in a correct way. That's it, I think. So we will send you the recording of this session. And we are here if you have more questions and if you want to organize a short call with us. And as mentioned, well, it's now open till the 10th. So don't forget, it's 10 at midnight.
Et voilà.
Et voilà.
I would like to everyone to be thank you for your patience. We just are back from holidays. Our English is not fantastic.
Yes.
We're a little bit rusty, but I hope we answered everything. And if not, you can send us an email. It might be a little bit better in a couple of days.
Great. Bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for attending this webinar. Thank you.